was working as a process science engineer for a biotech company in Boston, Massachusetts. And I realized at some point in time that there was an information flow that was happening going above my head. And there were certain skill sets that I just did not have. And I kind of plateaued there.
And that's when I stepped in and used the Accelerate program to understand what was it that I needed to improve on, and also what was I good at.
We only have a few years, really, to educate and prepare somebody for a 40-year career in business. So we focus on giving them those skills that we think are necessary for them to be successful over the long term. Part of that is developing in our students the analytical skills that will allow them to solve complex business problems, but we also want to give them communication, leadership skills that are going to serve them over the long term.
One of the first interactions that a student will have with the Accelerate team is through the Manager Ready assessment. The purpose of the assessment is to provide a framework for the student to be able to gain self-awareness, because without self-awareness, the student isn't able to identify strengths and opportunity for growth.
So once we got to the Tepper School of Business, all of the students were required to take the Manager Ready assessment test.
Manager Ready is a behavioral assessment that allows a participant the opportunity to experience a day in the life of a frontline manager.
It seemed like a day-to-day, normal. You had emails coming in your inbox and you had to respond to them.
And while that sounds fairly simple, I think you'd be surprised once your mailbox starts getting filled up with critical and non-critical items.
Based on your responses, they generated a report. What you were good at, what you needed to improve on.
And so what it does is it comprehensively takes your actions and your words and how you responded to people and assesses you on how ready you are to be a manager. It helps highlight areas that you are really strong in and areas where you still have room to grow.
The results of my assessment were, my strength was in managing relationships. I was good at building connections with people and building trust. The thing that I didn't know was that I wasn't very good at involving others.
Before going through the Accelerate Leadership program, my default was to kind of do things on my own. I think that's true for a lot of our students. We're very smart, we're analytical, we have great capabilities, but we don't always feel the need to trust other people or to seek out their help.
When you look at my performance review, not much of it was about the data. It was all about how I interacted with others.
It's not necessarily the skills that people are taught when they're working in their functional area. We're taught how to be individual contributors, how to do our job well, and we're judged and evaluated based on those skill sets. But once we move into a leadership position, all bets are off. It's not about what you contribute, it's about what everyone around you contributes. And the leader's job is to make sure that their team, their department, has everything they need to deliver.
Accelerate sets Tepper apart, and the reason is when I tell other students at schools what I'm doing, how I've grown through the development plan, that I have an executive coach that I can go to for help, they always say, I wish we had that. I know for a fact that I would not have gotten my job offer without the leadership development that I went through.
To be successful in business, you need more than just strong analytical skills and strong strategic thinking and critical thinking skills. You need the ability to communicate your ideas to others in an effective way, and you need the ability to inspire others and lead others in the direction you want them to go.
No one would be surprised if I were to say that analytics is the heart of the Tepper MBA. What I like to add to that is if analytics is the heart, leadership is its soul. The heart and the soul, the analytics and the leadership, it's a powerful combination.